What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with another MMAT update. But before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so that we can be able to get this information out to as many people out there who want to learn about the trade. With that said, let's begin. Okay, we're looking at 4-hour price action right here for MMAT. This support box actually served very well for us. As you can see, we used all today and yesterday. Let's see, that's 1019, 1020 right here. Yeah, we used it pretty well. So this support range is helping us out. Now, I did find us a descending channel here, and which is very typical for a setup like this, considering that we're in a descending broadening wedge breakout formation right now. So the breakout has happened, as we all know. It's been a couple days since we've touched on this. My apologies, you guys. It was actually my birthday yesterday, so I've been a little bit out of touch. But today we are getting back into it for the last day and last trading session tomorrow, being Friday. So yes, this descending channel has formed, which is very typical for this type of setup because it indicates a potential reversal of trend. So a couple things that we have to notice here is that we are at the top of this channel here, and arguably we've tested. Let's see, this could potentially be 1 test, 2 tests. We have 3 tests. We need to come back actually, and we don't need to do anything, you guys. The only reason I say this is because in a typical formation, the typical rules, right, within a formation like this is that we have to do about 2 touches of the resistance in order for us to confirm that we're even in the formation in the first place. So the test here and the test here validates the formation, as well as the tests of the support as well. It looks like we're on the 3rd test, if this is counted as an iteration. So if we're on the 3rd test and we're currently being rejected by the resistance, this can tell us that we're likely to come back and test lower support levels so that we can be able to gain one more test of this channel bottom, which just so happens to be right at the wedge test as well. So we have broken out, and we have not yet tested the actual newly converted support line here. So there is the possibility that, I mean, it's confluent here. So there is the possibility that we may actually reverse from here to come and test this area down here. Now the area down here appears to be around the 75 cent zone, which shares confluence with a lot of the support ranges that we have here, including the 0236 Fibonacci ratio from our Fibonacci retracement tool, and also this technical support bottom. This is gauged by raw price action, just by our naked eyes. Excuse me, you guys. Okay, so I have a few things that I want to be able to touch on with you guys. I did a comparison of the price action happening in MMAT with the SPY, and I actually have that right up here. So if you can take a look at the SPY movement, you can see that there's a lot. You can see that there's actually a lot of rhyming, and one thing is that it's possible that the SPY is actually acting as a guide to MMAT. You know, it's actually showing us where MMAT can go before it actually happens. So if you can see right here, we have a pump in the SPY, and it feels like it's a little bit early in comparison to this area here. Now, this area here feels like we then got it. We then got it right here. It mirrors it almost like right after it. This pump right here, we're pumping up, and then this happens, and then we come back down. It looks like it's coming back in time. This pump happens, then this one happens. This pump right here could also be could also be this area here. I'm only speculating, but it's something for us to be able to keep in mind. This pump right here, followed by this one, and now the most current pump right here was actually this movement from the SPY, which happened, which this just so happened to happen right within it. Another thing that we can look at is non-organic growth. So the candle, the volume here, if you can see the candle right down here in this area, this is a massive candle and we have almost no volume. That usually indicates that it's broader market influenced. So if the price action is happening from the broader markets, then you'll see almost no price action right here. When it is organic growth, you can see the candles that are particular to the asset. So in this area here, we do have absolute FOMO happening within MMAT and not gauged by the broader markets. Okay, so I wanted to make sure to touch on that so that you guys can be able to keep an eye on the broader market movement along with our asset right here. Let's take a look at the notes to see where we are, so that we make sure that we are not missing anything. Let's see. Okay, so we already talked about the reversal, which just so happens to be okay, perfect, good. So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. And the next chart is our statistical analysis. This is, I don't know if you guys remember from a couple days back, but I said that I was going to be able to, I said that I was going to measure both the negative iterations and the positive iterations of the volatility coming in. The reason why I did that is because we have almost a 50% chance of when the spectrum line reaches critical high levels above the 90 percentile to be exact about what we're talking about here. Now, above the 90 percentile is fully expansive levels, and it looks like our BBWP is already starting to contract. So this is a bit of a dangerous zone right now because we do have our momentum oscillator suggesting downside. If we start to zoom out just a bit, we can see that it's starting to make a curve, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna honor it. It could also just do one of these numbers. Let me pull up a tool here. It could actually do something along the lines of this movement here. This indicating further downside while we're contracting in the BBWP. And what that means is that we could potentially be facing some downside. And the downside actually has a lot of targets that are very confluent with other times of price action. So within the metrics of the bearish side of things, we have 11 incorrect iterations out of 23. Now, the average downside accuracy is about 47.82%. The downside thrust is 39.28% over the span of about 15.4 days. And this is the proof of work. Now, we can actually see what, you know, we can actually subtract the 39.28% from our current price action right now. And to do that, we're going to use the monthly chart. The monthly chart, because it's able to show us previous price action into lows that we may want to touch. Now, on the previous video, I did mention to you guys that we were on a massive monthly descending channel, and this descending channel presents, again, the potential of a reversal in trend. You can see here that our monthly candle here is about 10 days away from closing. I mentioned that it would be amazing if we did close this candle as a type of inverted hammer, because then that would present the possibility of reversing from such a candle like this. Now, taking into consideration our minus 39.28% thrust to the downside happens to pull us right at the channel support. And now if we draw a trend line, if we draw a trend line at the bottom of this suggestion, then we can start to see that we've used this area here as support, particularly, let's see, this is September 2020, October 2020, and also November 2020. We can also see right back here that on April 2015 and March 2015, we also used this as a form of support. Since we do have wicks down to this low, we can take our statistical suggestion and make a box just like this so that we can be able to see where we have a support range. So this area is a critical point of inflection that we should not break. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on. And now that you know, let me just give you the metrics here. So we have a 42 cent to about a 54 cent support range on the monthly chart. Now, onto the last chart. This is going to be the RSI so that we can be able to gauge direction for the short to medium term timeframes here. MMAT is suggesting immediate upside in the 30-minute range. We have the moving average and the RSI signal pivoted towards the upside. And within the bullish, this is bull weakness. So again, I'm sorry, you guys, one more time for the newcomers here. This is the entirety of my RSI right here, right? So the entire RSI is split into two. I have this area here as the bullish control zone, and I have this area right here as the bearish control zone. Now, both of the areas are split into two. This is bear weakness percentile, and this is bear strength percentile. And just like our bears, we have our bull weakness and our bull strength. So if you hear me talking about bull strength percentile or bear weakness, now you're going to know what it is. So yeah, we have the 30-minute RSI within bull weakness and suggesting a continuation to the upside. However, the upside pivot is not quite as profound as other pivots you've seen. However, it is a gradual incline, which is technically a good thing. That just means that we're not going to see immediate price action and to the upside, and then it falls and it just knifes all the way down to the bottom. That's a very good thing. Let's look at the higher time frames right here. So this is the bi-hourly RSI. It is right in the middle. It has made a cross into bull weakness, and we are trading above the moving average, which is a good thing. However, the pivot is not as strong, similarly to the 30-minute RSI. This RSI signal here is the 6-hour signal. We are within bull weakness. I wouldn't hold too much weight being in the bullish control zone weakness percentile. Why? Because this is more prone to being sucked into the bear weakness and vice versa. So this is the RSI signal is direction neutral. We are not getting anything. We're not getting any other bias towards the upside other than the moving average suggesting downside. So there is the possibility to where this signal line can use the moving average as a form of resistance before continuation to the downside. I want to be able to talk to you guys about a higher time frame, the 12-hour, but let me look at the 8-hour once more. I'm sorry, just once before we go into the 12-hour. Okay, so the 8-hour is suggesting downside, and it has rejected bull strength. We are trading below the moving average and pivoted towards the downside. So this is starting to look more like what I'm trying to tell you guys about. The 12-hour here is going to be on the next pane. Okay, so the 12-hour has some very special things going on. I have two trend lines drawn right here. So this trend line being from this barcoded candle here is just a little tiny line. You can just see it right just like that. Let me go ahead and undo that. And So what we're looking at here is this is hidden bearish divergence. It is very slight, but it is bearish divergence, and we are on the second drive of it. We need to consider this because it is a 12-hour. It is a larger time frame, so larger time frames are actually more likely to play out. So I don't see an edge for entry right away for MMAT, particularly because we are. I see a lot of bear signals for now that are inching towards having us test to actually confirm our newly converted support right here of this wedge before we continue to the upside. Now, I said that this is around 77 cents. Let's look at the low of the monthly. The monthly has us at about 54 cents. So 54 to 77 could be a range of sorts. But that is the reason why I believe that entry right now wouldn't be that good. Or, I mean, for the more aggressive traders, I could see some long puts just to try to get the price action, try to get the benefit of the price action going down. But I can't confirm that we are going down because of the indicators being so neutral. Price action is suggesting, raw price action is suggesting downside. The statistical measures are showing a little bit of an unbiased direction, but more towards the downside as well. So keep those things in mind as we do trade it. But there could be incredible potentials when we do realize the bottom. So if we do touch these critical zones, this is definitely entry for a long position. Please remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please use whatever I do say or show on these videos as a form of entertainment. But that's going to do it for the video for tonight, you guys. I will update more on MMAT tomorrow, and potentially Saturday and Sunday. But let's go ahead and kill the session tomorrow on Friday, you guys. And if any questions, please don't hesitate to hit me up on Twitter, Discord. I'll leave the links at the bottom so you guys can be able to reach out to me and join the server of a trading group. Anyway, thanks again, you guys, and I'll catch you at the bell. Adios.